Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, did you know there's just 232 days until Christmas 2021? And today we've got a lot to cover, and really excited to share some channel news with you all as well. We continue to gain subscribers little by little, and our view time is up. We're almost at 2,500 hours. We're getting close, and I was looking at the analytics this morning and saw that the book review that we did with the book review that we did with Gray and Levi Bond is performing really, really well. So I've already reached out to Levi, and I'm certain I'll get hold of Gray. We would like to go into A Test of Courage, which was the younger novel. We'd like to do a review of that very soon. I'm doing my second reading of it right now. So we'll be doing that soon. Just yesterday, Star Cabal had myself and Drunk 3PO on his channel. We did that collaboration together. It was a good time. We had a really good discussion. And then later, here's what we got going up. I got to just go down. We're going to, tomorrow morning, we'll do a Bad Batch live stream, viewing and reaction to the Bad Batch episode number 2. And then later in the day, I've got a collaboration with Creative Imagine. That's a channel that is new to me. Many of you probably as well. Creative Imagine, we will be doing a joint collaboration with them. And then Saturday, we're going to be doing an interview with Echo Base Network. Those folks are more of the Fandom Menace types. They are based in Alabama. So where my friend Imagic maker's from, but they're based down there, and they are trying to do a series on Can the Fandom Unite, and reached out to them, and Coach with the Echo Base Network has been in contact with me. We're working that out to interview on their stream Saturday night. So that's sort of the things coming up. And of course, on our Discord, we've been already talking about The Force Awakens Muppet'casting. So you guys are doing a great job over there. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But before we get going much further, we'll introduce my friend, a magic maker from Reimagining Star Wars. Hello.
Oh, hello, everyone. No.
Hey, very nice. Very nice. You know, I meant to bring this up. Oh, you did a great job. Did a great job. I meant to bring this up before the show and have it queued up, because a Magic Maker did a really good video. Oh, my screen froze up there. Hopefully for you guys, it's back. But he did a really good video on he called it the B team, but you know, like the A team intro. And I want to bring that up and share it with you guys. I meant to put it in the description so that you guys can find the link. But let me bring that up, because I do think it's worth sharing, and I want to show everybody. Let me find it here in your videos. But how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Unfortunately, that's the last video I put up, because I've been in the process of moving, and we've had a bunch of stuff going on in the family. So I haven't really been able to focus on producing videos. So I've had a kind of a dearth of videos in the last probably about 6 weeks now.
Oh no. So it's buffering now. Let me go ahead, because it's very relevant to today's discussion. He did a fantastic A-Team parody trailer for the Bad Batch, and let me do this and play this for everybody. If you've not seen it, you need to go out to Reimagining Star Wars. You see the channel right there, Reimagining Star Wars, and you'll find it. It's the last one he did. Landon, hello. Oh, you guys did a summary yesterday. I'm still catching up on the replay, but here we go. Let's play this for everybody.
At the end of the Clone Wars, regulatory was sent to prison by a zero clone for a crime. These clones promptly escape from a maximum security top gate to the Coruscant underground. Today, still wanted by the Empire, they survive as soldiers of force.
Oh, you guys, you got to go subscribe to Reimagining Star Wars if you haven't checked it out. I thought he did a fantastic job. Thank you. And today, it very much ties into our topics. We were going to go through the Bad Batch summary. And then let me bring up the agenda for today. We've got the Bad Batch episode 1 review. So and then we'll talk about the episode 2 preview in a little bit. The name of that episode is For Hire, and of course we know with the A-Team it was a bunch of ragtag military elites who could be mercenaries for hire. And that's, I think it's fantastic that we get some confirmation. And I keep seeing some parallels folks are drawing to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which shows me a bit of a generational divide.
I totally agree. That's totally generational right there.
If your first thought with these characters are how they map to Ninja Turtles, you're young enough to be my kid. It's good. So, so we've got the Bad Batch episode review. What did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. And speaking of the A-Team, if you notice how it began with a snare drum, just like the beginning of the A-Team intro does. So it begins with the snare drum, kind of like, to mimic, gunfire.
It's fantastic.
So they're completely mapping it onto it. I think it's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it is too. The episode 1 was a fantastic bridge over from the Clone Wars animated series into what we're going to get here with our Space A-Team, the B-Team. I think that's where we're headed from here. Obviously, with episode 2 being titled For Hire, and we'll go through the trailer here in just a little bit. We can expect that that's probably where we're headed.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, and I think that. But as far as the breakdown of this of the first episode, I think it was really. I think it was pretty well laid out. I mean, I have a few complaints, but I mean they're minor, and basically the same complaints I had with the Bad Batch and the Clone Wars. I guess it's just but I get why they didn't do what they did inside season 7. Because you needed this to happen to be the bridge over, but at the same time, those same elements can be brought in to bring more tension at the time, and I think those are just some of my complaints. But I do like what they're doing with Omega and with that interaction. I really love the interaction of Omega and Crosshair. I really like that little piece right before that. That stuck out to me.
It did to me. And Nikki coming in hot today. She said she's got some words for Santa. And here, I doubted one of her predictions for episode 1, and it happened. You'll have to tell me which one it was Nikki, because I'm wrong. And there's another item that I might be wrong about is Omega force sensitive. So we knew. We had made some predictions. The one that Omega was going to be female, and of course she is, and that was verified before the episode released. But for those that have seen it, that was confirmed. Now there's a bunch of other questions about Omega, who she is, what her clone source is, and is she? Oh, the Kanan. Okay, yes. Yes, very good, Nikki. Very good. So do you think Omega is going to be force sensitive? It kind of, I'm a little less certain than I was before.
She's definitely an intuitive. How about that?
There you go.
I mean, I saw her mimicking Hunter immediately while he's doing it without watching him.
Yeah, I wonder if that's her power is or her mutation is being able to mimic powers or abilities, attributes of others. Meaning, Crosshair is no longer part of the Bad Batch, or B team, if you want to put it that way. He's flipped, but she appears to have ranged weapon abilities, training that she shoot.
It's intuitive. She's into it. She put her hand on Crosshair. That's why this moment stuck out to me so much. She goes, I know what you're about to do, and it's not your fault.
Yeah. Well, right, and that's a part. Was she using force sensitivity to do that, or is it just a natural trait of intuition? And like you said, she's an intuitive.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to explore this. I mean, what does it mean to be force sensitive? We've been kind of exploring this throughout Filoni's, work, right? And so. I mean, it was definitely explored into what is the Force. I hate to bring it back to there because it seems to take in so much, but the world between worlds takes in so much, and we're seeing it really pass over into a lot of things, into meditation, and then I think in the zone that we see when I hate to go to the video game, but we know it's canon when you go to Jedi Fallen Order and you go into your meditation. It's almost if you're in a world between worlds. It's the same circles. You see the planets moving about, and so to bring that back into Omega, I think we're going to take this idea of Jedi intuition into what it means to be, what this whole Force sensitivity really is. And did we see? Speaking of Jedi. I didn't get a chance to look at the lightsaber and I need to go back and look at it and do some comparisons. So I haven't been able to do that. But the Jedi that we saw under the gurney, under the sheet,
Yeah,
was that Shak Ti?
No.
I'm just wondering if it's another opportunity where we saw Shak Ti dead.
Another Shak Ti death for Shak Ti. No, it's definitely not Shak Ti. It's not her saber, and she shouldn't have been there. We saw how she was. Well, we've seen it over and over again. So,
but we know that Shak Ti was over and over and over again on Kamino.
Yeah,
repeatedly.
So there's a couple of things I want to point out. We've and Ducky Momo Omega is a taskmaster that maybe, and of course Mephisto. You have to drop Mephisto in because
definitely Mephisto.
It's a poking at Josh Lucas at the Den of Nerds at this point. It's a lot of fun. But I gotta highlight Will Morgan. Will Morgan from Meta Egg is here with us today. Will, thanks for dropping in. Will and I have been talking about Omega and maybe just how meta his channel, Meta Egg. And I'm encouraging you guys to go check out Will's channel. And Will, I'm hoping, is going to do a Meta Egg video about Omega. And he raised some things to me. If Boba is the Alpha, Omega is the Omega, quite literally. Alpha, Omega, first, last. Boba has a lot of his, as far as his color palette, is very dark. Dark hair, dark clothing. And Omega, very light palette, light hair, light clothing. And also, might she be a little bit of a reference back to that original concept art of Boba, right? This guy, right? Might she be a little bit of a throwback to this with that white armor and the light coloring and being the Omega with quite literally kind of the opposite of Boba Fett and tying in as his sister. I think it's some fantastic thoughts. Of course, he shared some more than that, but I'm looking forward, hopefully, that Will picks up on that and carries it forward. What do you think about the Alpha Boba, Omega, and their connection together?
I don't know. I mean, I think that you're right on that. That she's the final clone of the of their process. I mean, I think when I say that, I don't mean that that it was the last clone of all of them, because obviously we saw that they were cloning
Yep.
them, and that there were still a lot more clones ready to come out.
Right.
But what I mean is that I think that all of the Clone Force 99 were attempts to alter the genes of Jango Fett and along the lines, and Omega is the final iteration of that.
I agree. They mentioned how Django's DNA is getting stretched thin for using it so much, and you've got, and they were very direct about saying there were 5 of these mutations, and then during the show they talked about Echo is not one of the 5, right? He's a cyborg. He's got all these cybernetics added to him. He's a cyborg. He's not a genetic mutation. So the other 4 of the Bad Batch, plus Omega, make the 5. To me, that comes all from the same genetic material, and they're all mutations of that same genetic material. It doesn't have to be, but that's how I interpret it. Other people are saying, well, she's an experiment of Palpatine. He ordered her this way, like put in a custom order for. In others are saying, well, it's a clone of Satine or this or that, and they're basing a lot of that off of her hair than anything else. But I think that's an over reading of her hair, and that she's simply there. There's some questions though. Is she age enhanced? So does she have the aging? And if she does, then she would be about 5 years old, and with a double aging to 10. Or if she doesn't, she's about 3 years ish, somewhere in that ballpark, 3.5, maybe 4 years younger than Boba Fett. What are your thoughts about her origin?
Said adolescent female. So is what was the first thing. So that puts us, I guess, in the range of 11 to 13. That's 11 to 14, maybe. Is that accurate?
She doesn't look like she's 14, but you know.
And Boba didn't look 13 either in the car.
No, that's true. That's true. So you think there may be twins?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're about the same age. I think they did all these in the same point in time.
Could be. Sheev says he doesn't think that she is force sensitive, but that she's highly intelligent. And hello, Stormy. Good afternoon. Good to see you here. Nikki, for a force sensitive clone would be hard to sell. Yeah, and we'll kind of win on that too. Force sensitive clones have too many problems. Feel like the info is from a communion level. And I think there's a strong argument for that. She's really intelligent. She's intuitive. She's also maybe just somebody who's empathic, right? Has a strong empathy and can read emotions really, really well. And it comes from that. I think that
I didn't get that at all. I got really intuitive. So I mean that's why I said that line where she says, "What you're about to do is not your fault." It is so important. I mean, it really is an important line because she basically that was them telling us she can tell the future. She can intuit what's going to happen to some degree.
Yeah, perhaps so, and that's why I'm not as firm as I was about her not being force sensitive, but I still lean towards. So I'm still on the side of the fence of her not being force sensitive, and that it's part of her clone training conditioning. It's part of her mutation, part of her abilities, as far as like Wrecker and the others. So.
I mean, I think this is the iterative process. I mean, we have to get from here to Snoke. We have to.
It was Omega all along.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was Omega all along, and I think I actually think that Omega shows some retconning, and that we're about to see some new stuff about Rey too. I mean, I think I really do think that this is coming about, and I think it's part of the iterative process. If there's anything that Filoni is good at, he's good at fixing problems in the movies. He clearly did it with the prequels, and now he's about to do it with the sequels.
Yeah, there's something else we need to talk about here. I just want to get caught up with the comment. And Will, please give us a video. Please, we need a Meta Egg video. I hope that it's in the works. I can't wait to see it. Will is brilliant. If you've not seen his videos, I absolutely love them, and I love Will's thought process. His intellect is fascinating. So, Will, please, he says she knows secrets of the clone, predicts basically all the Bad Batch mixed together as compilation of traits. Yeah, it implies the last. Yeah, I agree with you, Will. I'm more in Will's corner than I am with the Magic Makers. Shocker. A Magic Maker and I are of different opinions. It never happened.
I mean, it's not that she's super intelligent. It's not, because we already have that in tech. I thought you were the smart one. So it's not that she's super intelligent.
Mark says she doesn't have Wrecker's super strength. She might be abnormally strong for a young girl, though. So let's.
But we haven't seen it. We don't know. She just threw a piece of fruit. That's all we saw. Come on.
We haven't. We haven't. Park says that Hilt looked like a mix of Mace's and Alligalius's. The question here, and I've seen people speculate about who it was. There's some really good ones out there, but we just don't know for sure. Yeah. Imagine she shows up in the Book of Boba Fett or later in live action wearing that white armor. How cool would that be?
That would be cool.
Logan, while it'd be cool, she has 4 sets of not everybody needs to be. I agree with you, Logan. I agree with you. I don't want her to be.
I'm not disagreeing with it, and everybody needs to be. I'm just looking at the iterative process of retconning or putting in the necessary information to get us to Snoke.
And Mark Hamilton, don't get me triggered again about Hasbro. You're right. If Hasbro loves anything, it's doing repaints. So they've already got that ready to go. All they have to do, look, is look, we've got a Black Series figure right here. All they have to do is give us an Omega head in there. Boom, done. Oh my goodness, Mark. She's a perfected Django. That's why she's so good at a young age. I think that, she's going to have had training. Another question is, if she's not aged enhanced, what do you think about the age enhanced? Do you think she is the same age, like she's aging normally, or she's aging quickly?
I'm going to go with aging normally at this point, but I don't know. I don't have any data to tell me either way.
That's where I am as well. And I saw Star Wars Explained server, and I want to bring him up again. Alex did a really good video I want to bring up here in our next topic. But they were talking about, well, when was she born then? Is she a twin, like you suggest, perhaps a twin of Boba's, and we have Alpha and Omega born at the same time? Or is she born slightly younger, maybe up to 3 or 4 years younger? I think that's probably the age group we're in, and I think she's going to age normally. So
if I had to guess, I think she's probably about 11.
And then it begs the question of, where was she in all the other content we were at on Camino? And I think somebody on Star Wars Explains server put it really well. Look, that's a big place. It's not like they showed us every room, every person walking around. You had hundreds of thousands of clones being trained there at the same time, and that facility was churning out troopers. Very possibly she was being kind of secluded away, so Django didn't know of her existence, Boba didn't know of her existence, and she's a bit of a secret project that the Kaminoans were doing themselves. And it does appear that they were hiding some information about her.
They've been hiding information about a ton of stuff. I mean,
exactly. It's completely consistent with them, right?
Yeah. I mean, what if she's a mix of Boba, or I should say Jango Fett's and Shock T's DNA?
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, Shakti was always on it. She was the one she was the Jedi running the cloning facility.
He was right up until sort of the end, right? Landon, can you manipulate gender through the cloning process? Well, here's what I look at and this was a really good point I saw somebody make on a video. Look at the Bad Batch, their physical appearances, their physical features, their facial features, their body features. Look how much variance there is through doing DNA manipulation. Would it be difficult to switch an X and Y chromosome to end up with a female? I think in Star Wars mythology, it's as possible as anything else.
I mean, I guess really all you'd be doing is be cutting off one end, really. I mean, just go in there and alter the other X, right?
Right. I think it's very well doable. Hey there, Normies to Nerds is with us today. It's Star Wars. You can crush people with your mind. Yeah. So I want to get into some stuff. I'll just get caught up on the chat. My goodness, I'm falling behind. You guys are really active today. Thank you so much. Cool Mandalorian feud between brother and sister. I think that could be great. They're working on genetic engineering on babies and stuff like that now. People really like that white armor idea. Star Wars going woke, meaning gender swapping boba. It wouldn't be new. Not sure if she into it. I think she knows about the chips. I think she knows about a lot of things because she's been raised on.
Well, she's in the medical field, mental thing. Of course, she knows about the chips. I'm not saying she doesn't know about the chips. But she knows that as far as she knows, and all the information you get from the Kaminoans and the cloners is that their alterations, their genetic alterations, have made those chips not work with them. That's that information is repeated over and over and over again before we get there.
Exactly. And Nikki, I'm not today is not the day for me to doubt you. If you say that this is what happened, I'm going with it. But I do agree with you as well, right? The medic Kaminoan was protecting her and helped her escape. That's absolutely implied in there. Lamasu. It's absolutely in there. And if she did help her escape, it implies there's definitely something special. In Lamasu was raising her as her own. It appears to me, anyway, just reading into it, that Lamasu was raising her. That she probably lived with her. She's wearing the same family colors as Lamasu. She's dressed similarly. She's got the same headband on that Lamasu wears. All of that. So I think it was implied that she was raised as a family member with Lamasu, and that's why she has so much information about the cloning process.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously she's working with Lamasu in the medical field, and it could be that she can, somewhat intuit which clones are having alterations. Maybe she's the one that identified all of Clone Force 99.
And Will is exactly right. She was designed for live action. No kidding. I think it's a given at this point. They're going to use her everywhere. She's going to be introduced here, just as we do with Ahsoka, and we're going to get with Ezra in live action. And those characters spun out. We're introducing Omega here so that she can be spun out into other projects as well. Yeah.
Enjoyed the show, though.
I did enjoy. Okay, Gray's in and out. She's got a Tesla at a clinic. She's lurking. Gray, we got to get you on for another book review. Freeman Cooper. Freeman. Somebody told me we need to do something together. I need to have you on the channel to talk about Star Wars sometime. So we need to work that out. Okay, I get my names mixed up between Lamasu, Nalasa, and all that. Volcanics Playground say it's Nalasa. Okay.
So you can tell the difference between them. They're actually all clones.
that one Kaminoan that was wearing the headband in the same colors, that's the one. So, right. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, just that. I mean, it's true that the Kaminoans don't procreate. They clone each other. They're clones.
So Ducky brings up a good point. Jurassic Park, they did the genetic manipulation for gender swapping. So it's been precedent for that in cloning. Let's see if I can get caught up. Okay, Reefer Man, don't encourage a magic maker. He doesn't need it. He doesn't.
Oh, you talking about the one where he said that Omega's is Ray's real mom?
Yeah.
I think he's right on that.
So I'm telling it, I'm scolding him for giving you any ammunition. So there you go.
See, I'm not the only one. Ha!
I know. Freeman, let's talk about what we can do together. I'd like to do something with you soon. Logan, wait, if Omega is force sensitive, maybe the Kaminoans were just hiding her from Palp so he doesn't take her. Right. I saw that was one of the theories about why that happened. I do need to bring up another point. So we need to kind of change subjects just a little bit. The comic, and I don't know how familiar you are with this argument. The comic being retconned over Caleb Dune and Kanan Jarrus, his backstory through Order 66. There's a lot of stuff going around the interwebs, the YouTubers talking about this retconning that's going on. And I saw Trinity's video this morning where he's talking about people complaining about comic content not carrying through into movies and shows. And I assumed that he was talking about this, but it's actually happening in the Marvel universe, which makes sense with Trinity's channel, Second Street Marvel. But are you familiar with this retconning? What's going on there?
No, I mean I've delved into it, but I mean I know there were some changes. I mean, because of course the Clone Force 99 wasn't in the version of Kanan's escape in that. So I mean, of course, that whole adding that in there is a retcon of that. Yeah.
So the broad strokes, and this is why I mentioned, I think Alex at Star Wars Explained did a pretty good video on it this morning. We're talking mythology in a galaxy far away, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And as these stories, this mythology is being retold over time and distance and all of that the details may not align, but the story is essentially the same. And in the comics, the story is essentially the same. His Jedi Master was killed by the clones, and he escaped with his life. Yep. That's the same thing happened on the same planet in the movie or in the show as it did in the comics. So from just a general perspective, they're telling the same story. It's in the details where we start. And then Alex brought out several other examples where this happens. But there's another phrase going around where screen takes precedent over paper. And that's been the case in Star Wars for some time. Right. That anytime they put something on screen, they are able to take liberty with whatever pre-existed in comics or novels and change those facts. Right. I like Alex's take on it. What's your take on all of that?
I say that if it's not on screen, it's probably not canon.
Hey, Star Wars Tonight. Hello. So are they just going back into the same tiers of canon?
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing.
And I sort of bought into that early on because as soon as this happened, and I noticed it with Ahsoka before, but look at who's doing this. Dave, right? Dave Filoni, who has famously come out and talked about how George never considered anything except what was on screen canon, and his movies and such, and that he was able to borrow and overwrite anything at his own discretion. And so here's Dave creating the story, and he's got the same attitude. It seems like if it exists on paper, he can do anything he wants. It doesn't really matter. But I will say Alex has a really good, strong argument as well that this is a retelling of a story, maybe from different perspectives with different details, and it's not really like it contradicts the overarching, the broad sweep.
No,
right?
it doesn't contradict the broad sweep. I'm not saying. I mean, of course it doesn't. I mean, Dave wrote the backstory to Kanan. I mean, it's his story to tell. So even though it was in the comics, he's like, "What's my story? It's my characters. I can do what I want to with them."
Yeah, and irrefutable comrade. Yeah, that's what we were talking about before. Oh shoot, I just forgot his name. The comic book hero that copies powers. Right, that could be the case. Nikki, thank you so much. Yeah, like the stream if you haven't already. Feel free to share and all that kind of stuff. That'd be great. Reefer Man, I like Alex's video too. And I know a lot of people don't like Alex and Molly for various reasons. But when it comes to like the canon content that they put out, it's very, very good.
Well, you got to listen to everybody. I mean, I don't necessarily like them, but I listen to them. You know, it's you got to get perspectives, and otherwise you get, you know, pigeonholed, and that's not ever fun either.
Freeman, like father, like son, George and and Dave. Yeah. This was funny too. Park Outdoors. Captain Gray's markings were green, so, instead of red, but also Captain Gray's markings are green. So I don't, if his markings aren't gray and he's Captain Gray, it's still to me entertaining. Let's put it that way. Nikki, I don't mind retcons, but the comics and books are relatively new, right? And that's a really good point, Nikki. Like, and this is where Disney and Lucasfilm, and I'm always specific to say Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm's creating content, not Disney. It's not being done by Disney Studios. It's being done by Lucasfilm. And Lucasfilm controls all of this content, the books, the comics, the whole bit. And for these things to be new material, the Ahsoka novel, the Kanan comic series run, all of those, and then to come right on the back of it this quickly and retcon it seems a little fishy.
Yep, right? We're going to see soon that Asajj Ventress is still alive too, retconning a Dark Apprentice.
Thank you, Volcanic Playground. So, yeah, Lama Su is male, the leader, cloner. The cloner in red is Nala Sa. Okay, so Nala Sa. Thank you so much, Volcanic. What's wrong with Alex? Alex and Molly also have some political bents that they champion, and so when they talk about things outside of Star Wars, people hold that against them on other things, and they seem to have a little bit of run-ins with other content creators, and there's just got a bit of a reputation. I like Alex's content a lot, but I'm also aware there are a lot of people who don't like them as people, and they don't follow them for that reason. So
yeah, I mean, they have views, and it does color their view of Star Wars to a bit, and at least it's perceived to. And so people don't like them for that. I mean, just like it's on the other side, you know, there's political views that are coloring the view on the opposite side as well.
That's right. That's right. So episode 2 preview for hire. Have you seen the trailer?
I have not seen the trailer.
Oh my goodness!
I have not. Actually, my internet's been down, so I lost internet just after I saw the first episode because I'm moving. I'm in the middle of moving. My computer.
Well, I was going to tease you about not doing homework. You know, every time I assign a Magic Maker homework, he doesn't do it. But yeah,
if I can't do my homework in class, typically I didn't do my homework when I was, you know.
That's a good point. When I was in high school, if I didn't get it done in class, I didn't do it. That's right. that was my position as well.
I did not take work home.
Yeah, me neither. Reefer Man, I'm all in on every Star Wars title right now. And hey, Jason, how you doing? Good to see you here. So let's play this trailer for episode 2, titled For Hire. And then we'll break it down. We'll look at it in slower motion. Let's see here. Let's make this full screen so that we kind of get rid of some of the borders. So let's let this play, and we'll talk about it and break it down, because there's some details in here added that we haven't seen yet. Irrefutable comment. I get A's or F's in school. Santa cheated a lot to survive high school. Let's put it that way. So here we go. Let's let this play.
Our new empire may be a bit unorthodox, but so is this squadron. They must be wiped out.
We need to go now. It's not safe for us anymore.
You're gonna need friends and money.
If you're looking for work,
The mission's a mission.
Don't screw it up.
The Bad Batch and streaming only on Disney Plus.
There you go. There's your view of it. Let me go back to the beginning here. I'm going to turn on the closed captioning, and I'm going to slow this way down for us so we can go through it. I'll mute it, and we'll talk about it. So your first time seeing the trailer, what do you think?
It's what I expected fully. Fully what I expected.
Yeah, there's some good details in here. So let's let this play. I've got it slowed down, muted, all that. And here we go. We'll let it. You can see our new empire, right? So we talk about the new empire, and you see these walkers on this planet. Now, this initially to me looked a lot like Padme's world.
Right. It looks like Naboo. To me, it looks like Andor.
An Andor. I think it's probably Andor. It might even be a part of Coruscant, but I think you might be right about there right now. But let's let this play a little bit more. You see, like the markings on these they don't have the paint they did in the Clone Wars, so they've stripped the paint off from the Republic, and then you get this view of this city. This is why I don't think it's Naboo. I think this is the city. You see these things walking up close. But look at this giant moon back here in the back.
Yep.
In this city. I don't know what city this is.
I'm pretty sure that's the capital city of Andor. I'm pretty sure that's the castle that when we were on there in the Clone Wars, and when we were doing all that with training Saw Gerrera and his sister and all that. I'm pretty sure that's the castle, and that means the moon in the back is Duxun.
And this was in episode 1. You see, this is just some replaying of episode 1 stuff we've already seen. All of this is episode 1. Here it's really dark, but we've got to. They're watching them go back, and they're kind of in seclusion here in the dark. But let's let it go, because there's more stuff. This is again from episode 1. There at the end where they escaped from.
That's when they were captured. When they
Yeah. That's when they were escaping from Camino, right there. And then we get some more content. So there it is again. Now
it's a different castle.
It's a different castle. And I was going to point out, like, see the mountain features.
Yeah,
right?
This is definitely not Naboo. It's not green enough.
No, it's definitely not Naboo.
It reminds me of Zagarians, actually.
We'll talk about maybe the other location, but yeah, maybe so. Here you got the 4 Bad Batch members plus Omega coming into some nightclub or something like that on the back. Now, okay, so I stopped it here just because we got Hunter throwing this knife, and boom, there the knife goes. It gets deflected by Fennec. So we know that there's at least some altercation between Hunter and Fennec, and Fennec is pursuing them at some point. The question is, are they?
Can you back that up just a bit? I want to see that deflection, just a tad bit.
Yeah, let's see if I can.
We see this throw. We don't see this in the same shot. I don't think that's the same.
Oh, you
I
think
don't see the knife. I think that's a setup.
I think that's,
maybe.
I think that's it.
I don't know. I can't see it for sure.
Yeah. So are they contracted to take out Fennec Shand? Is this a contract?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're being set up that way. I think they'll work with her.
Okay. I think they are maybe tasked with taking her out, or she is tasked with taking them out. Remember that Tarkin said, kill them, and there may be a bounty out on their heads, and we know Fennec is a bounty hunter.
Right. If I had to guess, I would say that she joins them. She's a sniper because they no longer have crosshair.
Okay, so Mark is saying the knife is there. He screen captured it.
Okay.
So we'll see that on my Discord, I'm sure. So so here we go. Oh, yeah. Well, and here they are, right? So here's Fennec, and here's right. They're face to face here in the same shot, and that is not a friendly hello.
Yeah, that's definitely. She's not saying, "Hey, how are you?" She's all right.
High five, my friend. High five. No.
This is how we say hello in my world. I hit you in the face with my gun.
That's right. So
everybody does it.
Yeah. And again, there's a lot of talk about maybe this is Coruscant. I'm not sure it's Coruscant.
I don't think it's Coruscant. I don't.
Just because you see lots of buildings doesn't mean Coruscant. Every city is not Coruscant. So we get Hunter going through. And this is from the original trailer, so nothing new here. We've got this, and Nikki pointed out that there is. Let me go back up here because Nikki pointed out there's a lot of theories about this Night Sister bow, and Nikki said they probably just bought it off the black market. I tend to agree with you. They either bought it from the black market,
the bow,
or they defeated somebody who had it or whatever, but we know this is going to become Omega's preferred weapon of choice. We see her carrying it around in other shots, and she seems to be really well trained or have a high ability with ranged weapons. We saw that with the blaster in the first episode, and I think we're going to see that she's been trained with ranged weapons, so she doesn't have to go into hand-to-hand combat so much, which makes sense for her being raised on Camino and being trained about fighting. So let's see. McNay, she's hired to take them out, but ends up joining them. That could very well be the case. Logan said maybe Nar Shaddaa or Kessel.
Could be. No, not Kessel.
No, not Kessel.
Could be Nar Shaddaa. I will agree with that.
There's a lot of cool possibilities.
Yep. Maybe she's Marin. Omega's really Marin.
Okay. So I stopped it here. Here's where they're being said, you're going to need, money. All right. It's not safe. You're going to need brands and money. This, I had to stop it and slow it down. This is not a hut. Normally when you see people getting hired and they're getting money, it's a hut. This to me looks to be a the same thing Bosk is.
No, it's not the same as Bosk. You're talking about the bounty hunter Bosk?
Yeah, the species.
No, it's not the same.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll see. But a baby Rancor.
I don't think they're Transdotion. I don't think that's a Transdotion.
I think it is a Transdotion. I'm pretty sure it is a Transdotion. And we'll see. If she comes up again, we'll be able to see. You got to love a baby, right?
Yeah.
How cute is that?
Yeah.
Oh, how cute. He'll eat you, but it's really cute before he eats you. We got to, so here, this is really good because here he says, look, a mission's a mission, right? And he doesn't care. He throws a weapon and then he jumps on that, right? Right. A mission's a mission. And there he goes with the baby Rancor. Here we go. Now you get a better shot of her. I'm pretty sure she's Transocean. Back here, it's got the same features, the fingers, the skull plates, the scales. This to me is Transocean.
I don't think the face is out enough. I don't know. I could be wrong.
So that's the breakdown of that. I wanted to show. I did a Google search of Transoceans, and just images, and
Transocean females.
we get a lot of variation with them, but they all have that kind of bridge there in the middle. So, right, they've got the three kind of ridges on their head, and she's just a heavier set Transocean. So that's my belief. But we'll see it play out. I think for sure she's Transocean. Mike Porter says the species is rut. You mean hut? The Ranker store stole
Maybe.
record teddy bear.
I don't know. I don't think a single one. I can't find a single female for Transoceans.
This is from Resistance. This is another Transocean here. So you see, they kind of can, when they're heavier set, and that's a female. She ran the bar, in Resistance. So, and I wanted to bring up J19 because in episode 1, there was a mention that they were going to Sector J19. What is J19? And it may give us clues to where they're going and who they're going to meet in episode 2. And so I went here, Dork Side of the Force. There's lots of different articles on it, but this is from Dork Side of the Force. And they talk about what is J19. And it says, in the Clone Wars, General Grievous in the Separatist forces captured Jedi Master Ethkoth. Grievous intrigue. That's the episode. During transmission, Koth secretly communicates, tipping the Jedi Council. Obi-Wan Kenobi translates the message, says, Seleucimi system, Sector J19, Seleucimi. That's an important part. That's the system, Seleucimi system. There's also a planet Seleucimi there. In the follow-up episode, the Deserter, that's they go to Seleucimi and they find a Grievous, but they also, this is where they meet LaQuain. So LaQuain could be here. That could be who they're going to meet. And I've seen this a lot. People are speculating that it will be LaQuain that is their contact and where they're going.
Could be. Yeah,
I think that's very, very. Olaf, hello. Oh, good to see you here. Thanks for stopping in. So I want to get back to our agenda here. Let me go ahead because there's more stuff. Ducky, I have a phone call. Don't talk about anything important. Just pause it, and then you can catch up at 2x speed. That's what I do. So the episode 2 preview for hire. We've talked about that trailer. What do you think is going to happen in this episode? Any idea?
I mean, I think they're going to obviously go work for that. We'll say for now, the Transocean lady.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think that's the main thing. I think they'll end up teaming up with Phoenix Shan because they're missing a sniper.
Yeah, I think that's very possible. And we do see so the next topic here. I agree with you, and I think they're going to meet up with LaQuain. I do think they're going to meet with LaQuain. There's some rumors that were out about a storyline with LaQuain in it, and I think that's who they're going to meet. Some of the other rumors with that leak, I'm not sure of, and I'm not going to share them. If you're not on that, you would just want to be able to watch the episode. I'm not going to share anything that would be a spoiler, but there are other spoilers with that leak that what might happen there. So I'll leave it there. There's Andor set leaks came out. Mark Hamilton. So Star Wars speculation had a theory that Cut will send LaQuain will send them on their way to find Rex. That could be because Rex said that Ducky, I'm back. Continue. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Rex kind of turned an eye and said, "Okay, we're going to let you live out your life here," because they were supposed to bring him back and they didn't. And so, very well could be that they've kept in contact, and LaQuaine will be able to send them towards Rex and Park Outdoors. It's definitely Seleucimai. Yeah, I'm positive of that too. So the Andor set photos were leaked, and we see lots of shore troopers. And I saw it come up on our Discord yesterday. Shore troopers, we saw them in Rogue One. They wear the beach attire. I mean, their armor's tan, and they.
I thought you meant they were in their swimsuits.
Yeah, right. They wear like speeder bike armor, but it's all tan. So we did see those Andor set photos leaked, and so if you have a chance to pick up some shore trooper figures, you're going to get some that are going to come in here as well. And then I wanted to go into the next one, buckets of coal. So we have a segment that I do from time to time here where we talk about Star Wars rumors, leaks, and such, and we determine if they're false. We give them buckets of coal, and you can get one bucket, meaning that it's a bit of a spin, but there's a lot of truth in it, to 5 buckets, meaning it's completely made up. There's no truth whatsoever in it. So the buckets of coal here is going towards the rumor that Gina Carano is coming back to The Mandalorian. She's coming back to Star Wars. And the source for this is that her figures are starting to show up for sale. You can find different figures out there for in different lines, and they're saying, well, that's coming back. Plus, this Bear Grylls episode is now going to get aired. They're ironing out their grievances, and she's coming back. So, people are giving buckets. A Magic Maker, how many buckets of coal do you give the Gina Carano rumor?
2.
So explain, please.
All right. So I think things have seemed to be. I mean, you already laid out some possible evidence. I think things are getting smoothed over. I think that there was probably quite a response of people leaving after that whole thing, and I think they're just trying to smooth things over. I'm not saying she's going to be back and do like all of Rangers now. What I'm saying is that she'll come back, do a couple of episodes, smooth things over, and that's it. She'll move on her way.
I'm going to give it at least 4 buckets, maybe 4.5. The reason I go do it with 5 is because there's at least something there that people are grasping onto. So for me, I'm going 4 buckets of coal because I don't think there's any chance she's coming back right now. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is Drunk 3PO. I mentioned at the top of the show, I was on Star Cabal's channel yesterday, live streaming with Jay, and we talked about lots of things. And the night before, Jay was on the Dark Council with Lord Callus, and Jay is friends with Gina Carano. They talk. They went to dinner together out in Las Vegas. She knows him. They talk. They're friends. He has no indication that she's coming back. He said if he did, he wouldn't share it. But he is dispelling those rumors. And if anybody is a friend of Gina and they're dispelling, I'm going to give weight to that. Plus, Drunk 3PO would have every reason to want to see her back. And he's right. He is not on board with that yet.
But he also told you that he wouldn't tell you either. So
he did. He absolutely.
And if she was said, "Hey, don't tell anyone," and in fact dissuaded if she did let him know that, which she may not have. Anyway, we don't know how well she knows him. Just because I've had dinner with a lot of people. It doesn't mean I know them really well. I don't know. I don't put a lot of credence into that. But again, I'm slightly biased. I won't deny that I'm slightly biased in that direction. Maybe even more than slightly. But I try to at least apply some reason to it, and so I think we talked about season 3 coming on pretty quickly, and I think her showing up and doing her scenes inside season 3 would make sense if they didn't have to rewrite all of season 3, and so maybe they only had to rewrite a couple of things, and they could get her in and then pull her out, and so she comes back, she's taken out, she's killed or whatever. She never shows up in Ranger, so that never occurs. But she's back to some degree, and then her character is ceremoniously retired, and in a good way. And I wouldn't I don't think anybody would be angry about that, and I don't think anyone would. I think that would be, a way to bring it back and I wouldn't be. I don't think that's unreasonable to think that could be a possibility.
Olaf, I think, is onto a little bit here. It said probably Favreau would try to get her back, and because he did select her, he did have plans for her, and so Favreau may be trying to smooth that over quietly behind the scenes. But I think you're a little off on the timing here. Mando 3, I don't believe, is put off to the end of 2022. It's already been confirmed that it is currently in production right now. Right. It started production in April. So I think it's going to come out early 22, not late 22. And for me, I have nothing against seeing her come back as well. But I mentioned earlier, I could see where maybe they just don't visit Navarro for some time.
I can't see that happening because of I just don't see them cutting out Carl Weathers. That's the reason why I just don't see it.
Well, but if they focus on the Siege of Mandalore, the reclamation of Mandalore, Carl may go meet them somewhere. They don't have to go back to Navarro for that.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just reticent to think that's the case. I really am.
They could come back in 2 or 3 seasons, and Gina, Cara Dune is still Marshal of Navarro, and pick back up after things have cooled down. That, to me, that's the smartest thing to do. Just don't address her character. Don't go there. Leave it unaddressed. And if things get smoothed over in the future, you can always come back. And
I personally think that things are already smoothed over. I'm not saying that she's going to be in Rangers. I'm not saying that she's going to be a major character. I think she'll be a reduced role. But the idea, I do think that Favreau went in and smoothed it out so he could go ahead and continue shooting with what he had planned, but he altered some of it. And I really don't think that, I think Gina, she'll come back in season 3, and it'll be her last season.
I hope not. I hope they just leave it and then come back, and we can get Marshal Dune back later, even if it's recast as another character. If you let a season or 2 pass and you come back with another character or another actress in the role, then we've seen plenty of that kind of thing in other TV series.
No, absolutely. But I mean, if there's any validity to the idea that Favreau and Gina are on really, really good terms as friends, and that he recruited her for that role specifically, if there's any validity to that, then it makes sense that he would go to bat and for that and to occur and try to smooth things over. But understanding that it's no longer the same extent that where he intended for her. So I think he's going through and rewriting some things, but I think they did come out pretty quickly and start shooting a Mando 3, and I can't. She was either never really a part of Mando 3, which is which means that you can go through and shoot without any major changes, without any setups.
Yep.
Or they smoothed it out and got that agreed to fairly early on, and now it's just the rumors are somewhat coming out, but we think that of course the rumors say that she's coming back, it's going to be the original roles of what they ever always intended, but no, there's some changes, and that was the agreement. Listen, we'll bring her back if she agrees to it, and then and he talks her into it, and it's for a diminished role and for her to move her on her way. And then he writes a new character for someone else that will replace the original Gina role.
Could be. I'm still holding out hope for my idea. We'll see. And Olaf brings up the rumors from Doomcock that there are talks and all of this. And Mark rightfully points out that I had the opportunity a couple weeks ago to listen to a Midnight's Edge noon live stream, and they were saying Mando 3 is not going to happen, Obi-Wan's going to get canceled, Andor's not going to happen. All of these new series are put on hiatus, and that the whole thing is dead. And that could have been.
I listened to them as well. I disagree with your take on that completely. That's not what they said. They're having a much more nuanced step on that. I'm going to push back on you on that and saying I'm sorry about that.
Well, you can, but I listened to it. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I listened to the same thing, and that's not what I heard. So I'm just telling you that there's two perspectives on this, and so two friends can listen to the same thing and come back with two different perspective on what was said.
Very, very well said. Very well said. Gina said, or Nikki said that Gina in the Mando gallery said that John wrote Cara Dune for her. So yeah, I think that's the case. And Olaf, the episode 9 stuff is legit. And Olaf, I think most of Doomcock's episode 9 stuff came from the same place everybody else got theirs. And he was also very wrong about a lot of stuff. Like there were multiple cuts, and that there were screenings, pre-screenings, all of that. So I'm not. I put Doomcock with Mike Zero in a lot of his predictions. I don't.
I find Mike Zero to be on spot like 100% of the time.
Well, he's got that track record.
I think we can go down, and a lot of this has to do with bias. I mean, if we recognize that we have a bias in how we listen to things, then we tend to hear and give credence more, which I think you see is true in our buckets of coal.
Yes.
And so, like, I'm not fully taking it as fact, but to me, that I give more credence to the rumors that are out there that confirm my bias, and you give less credence to that bias, and I think that's fair. I'm just
absolutely fair. It's why we do this show together,
right?
Because we can illustrate how we could be friends and have different takes and acknowledge our biases and how we interpret the same information. And this was a really good one. The Midnight's Edge, when I listened to the live stream and I heard one thing, you listened to the same live stream, you heard something different, and it was the same live stream. So fair enough. We do hear things that filter through our own biases, and it's nothing done to be deceiving in any way. It's just how you interpret information you get. So I want to kind of close out here. There's a couple other things I want to share. So we've been working through Muppet'casting, a bunch of different Star Wars. We've like all the movies, and we have been sharing those in our Discord. So please join our Discord. We're up to The Force Awakens. And we've got some fantastic casting in here. It's a lot of fun. And I
already saw Laura Santeca in there.
Yeah. So Chewie has lots of potential. We've got, there's a fan art piece there that's really good. And I think if I click on that, you guys will be able to see it a little bit better. But we've got lots of good stuff. Here's Maz Kanata. That's good. Some of these are gender swap, but they're absolutely great. I love.
Oh wow, that's good.
Here's Unkar Plutt. You guys are so good. You're absolutely hilarious. Here's Phasma. Oh, I love it.
Oh no.
Right. This could be. This is Donald Grease. What was it? Hux, right? BB-8. Elmo, right? Elmo in the airplane as Poe Dameron.
Elpo.
Gonzo as Kylo. Some more fan art. These people have done great. I like Ducky here. Walter from New he's yelling. So this is Finn yelling Ray.
Oh no!
Park outdoors. This could be Poe. He's got the jacket and all that.
I'm still thinking about Elmo. I'm thinking, la 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 la. It's Poe that's flying.
These are so good, you guys. There's Laura Santeca. So join the Discord server and please continue the discussion. We're having fun. Next week will be The Last Jedi, which a lot of these same characters carry through. And I need to do a plug for my daughter. She and her friends have started a blog on amusement park. So I know many people are amusement park enthusiasts. You love going to them. They've got a blog called Hidden Amusements, and this is an article she just did on an abandoned amusement. But we've got the history of roller coasters in here. There's how to be safe when you're visiting amusement parks and all of that. I put a link in the description for Hidden Amusements blog at the very bottom of the description. So if you're interested in amusement parks and you enjoy that, look out for Hidden Amusements .blogspot.com, and you guys, that'd be wonderful for her and her friends. She's actually majoring in it's called Resort and Attraction Management. It's a degree program at Bowling Green State University in coordinates with Cedar Fair that runs Cedar Point, as well as Kings Island amusement parks here in Ohio. So if you like roller coasters, you like amusement parks, check out that blog. So a Magic Maker does. You guys do a weekly fan, some fan fiction in Star Wars.
This last week we were talking about a what if with the Battle of Rusan, and then we were going into some previous, around the Old Republic kind of stuff. I have a stuff that I'm working on called Splintered Republic, and so we were going through that, and so we had a lot of fun. It was, there's a lot of back and forth. Sometimes it's brainstorming, sometimes it's reading, sometimes it's just helping people kind of construct their stories and help them get to where they want to go. And so we do that every Sunday at 9 Eastern.
Very good.
And it's a lot of fun on my server. I think you can find the link down below. And hopefully, as we get moved in, I'll be able to start doing some videos again and getting caught back up.
Well, that's great. And we've discussed before, when you're a fan of a franchise and the story direction doesn't go a way that you like, a really healthy way to express your own creativity and kind of fill in the story in a way that's more pleasing to you and other people who are like-minded is to come up with fan fiction. And fan fiction is a wonderful outlet. We've talked about how Girls with Sabers have done a really good job. Your folks are doing a great job. And if you are interested at all in seeing the sequels retconned, you might be able to do that through fan fiction over on Reimagining Star Wars. So check that out. The Discord link is in the description. Of course.
And speaking of that, I have been working on a retcon of not just a retcon, but a rewrite of the sequels with Thor Skywalker, and he should be releasing a trailer for that any day now. So if you want to see some of the work that we've been doing and get ready to watch it and see his announcements that'll be coming out. So head over to Thor Skywalker, where you can see some of the fruits of my labors over the last year.
That's fantastic. And I follow Thor Skywalker as well on Discord and YouTube. We don't see eye to eye on many things, but he's a good guy, and I do support him that way. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll be doing a live stream tomorrow morning, really early on the episode 2, and then later in the day, we've got an interview with another content creator, and then Saturday we'll be going into perhaps some of and I just saw Olaf joined our Discord server, but we're going to go on to a live stream or a show Saturday night and talk about can the fandom unite? And I think a Magic Maker and I are. We've been working on this for a very long time, showing how you don't have to agree, but you can still be really good friends, and you can come together on the thing that you love.
2018 now, right?
I don't remember exactly.
2018.
It was before Rise, and that was 2019. Or I mean, Return.
Oh, yeah.
It was
I
Rise.
think it was before.
It was
I think
after,
it was after Solo, but not far after Solo.
right. It was after The Last Jedi, after Solo. So yeah, not long after Solo. It was that same year. So that would have been 18.
I think
right?
I think it was second half of 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. We've been communicating together, and we've been doing these kind of streams now for over a year. So we appreciate all the support here, you guys. We are really excited about the growth of the channel. We're coming up on our 4,000 hours. We've still got about 1,500 to go, but we're making progress. And so keep looking for more content, and we hope that you all have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning. And until then, I'll say, Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you. Bye-bye, everybody.